Welcome back. Look who I got here. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our live stream. We are
I
simultaneous.
think it is. Mine says scheduled. I don't know what yours, I don't know what I have done wrong. Ready to go live. There it goes. Now it goes live. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, Kevin. Go ahead, dear.
No, it's all good. Welcome, Susan, Lynn, back to my channel. And I guess simulcasting, we're also connecting to yours. So welcome, everybody. It's an interesting evening. We can kind of feel the energy, the elephant in the room of what's happening tonight. So to give you a little reprieve of that energy, that we will not keep you longer than when the debate will be happening. We thank you for joining us. It's wonderful. We're going to do some personal readings, psychic and mediumship. I put a little poster up on the top that if you can be specific in your questioning, if it's a psychic question, just helps us narrow in. For example, just doing a general read can sometimes, it just takes a little bit more time to create that. So it's helpful on this end if you can be specific. We love the energy of spirit, and so we always say that spirit will work in that wonderful, beautiful way that they will try to get messages to as many people. So really listen to the messages that are coming in for other people and share with us if that resonates with you. We love seeing that with the information that we are picking up on. I know Susan likes to have the name and relationship for the mediumship question.
Hey, no, Kevin doesn't need that. Don't worry about it. We'll do,
We'll work it out.
Fine. We'll be fine.
And that's perfect. So do, if you feel like putting those in capital letters, that would be helpful again on this end. And then the other thing that I was going to say is, in that piggybacking. So do pay attention. And if we do choose your question, if spirit chooses your question, be quick to give us the yes, you understand, no, you don't understand, or you're not sure. We don't need all of the information. So just in that quickness really helps to keep us in the energy with what is being presented and what we're aware of. So that's super helpful. And then I was going to say, and the last thing was, which I always love. Thanks everybody for holding the space for spirit. And in that, I just love it when people are, making comments in the chat for other people. I can see tons of questions coming in. We typically will work in a way where we are guided by spirit. And I think one of the reasons in that is because they're trying to get to as many people as possible. And as some of you know, that when Susan and I get together, we move pretty quick. The energy is sometimes overwhelming on this side. We do our very best to just really have a fun time at the same time. And so we ask that you guys enjoy. I'm seeing tons of questions. I've also delegated Susan as a star person. And Kathy, and thank you so much for your donation. That's so kind. So without further ado, let us, that's so great. Let us get started. I'm seeing some of these things already. I'm just distracted by spirit, which really, really doesn't take a lot for me. The energy I was sharing with Susan is interesting lately. The energy has been interesting over here. I don't know. Susan said it in a great way. My timeline's a little bit messed up. So I think I'm a day ahead. And maybe I am. I don't know what I'm doing in other realms or dimensions. But in this one, I'm a little bit a day off. So hopefully that doesn't affect anything but for the better as far as the communication tonight. So, and hello to some lovely people. I see you saying hello. Susan, Lynn, I feel like I just rambled off 50,000 things, but thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
It's been a long time.
Yes. Well, I'm happy. I think it's interesting that we are doing this tonight because in many ways, I think Kevin and I both are about personal empowerment, right? So this is a really good night to say, okay, we acknowledge that this stuff is happening in the political realm, but I, in my own personal life, I'm still living my life. I'm still trying to get that love relationship or that job, or maybe feeling connected to a person in spirit. We have to live our lives. And the better we live our lives, the better the whole world is, right? So we really are helping the bigger picture by working on ourselves. So this is a perfect timing to do this.
I love that. I mean, that's been a lot of the conversation, again, personally and with professionally, around, really staying in our power, and what does that mean for people, and how do we do it? So I'm going to ask that Spirit brings in some of that guidance for those that are needing that as well tonight. So do you want to choose the first? There are so many great questions. This is wonderful.
Oh, do you have something that's popping out at you?
Let's see here.
Did you want to go with that person's name that you wrote down, or you want to wait and see?
I'm going to wait a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, because I will, because I've got two of them, but I got the little kind of like midway. So,
okay.
But remind me in case I just in case. But go ahead if you want to choose the first.
Okay, just going to go with Lori Christine, who says, please read for my friend's dog named Gavin, who passed away last week. He should still be here. I'm heartbroken. I loved him like he was my own dog. Has he entered into the light yet?
Yes.
Gavin is light. Yeah. Animals are light. They're so much more ascended than humans are, right? Like they, this is what they're telling me. I don't know if you're a person, probably, because they wouldn't be using this analogy if you weren't. But for people who commute, there's like a separate lane that you get to go in when you have other passengers, and you get to bypass all the traffic. That's animals. They hit the rainbow bridge. They don't need to wait for anything that's instant. Now, a lot of times I see animals stick around, right? Like they immediately stick around their owners to comfort their owners. But it's just like with people, when people cross over, you're in the grief phase. And when you're in the grief phase, it's really, really hard to get those messages. Even if you hear the click, click, click of the nails on the floor, you don't really believe it, or you're just not connecting to it because you're still in grief. Gavin is fine. He had to check out early. What he's telling me is I had to check out early. Like, I know you say he should still be here. I get it. That's us humans. Like, we all think that about everything. Because it's our grief. We're on this side of the veil grieving. He's fine. He's talking about an older brother or an older sibling. I don't know if there's an older dog or cat in spirit, but he's saying something about an older sibling. What is he talking about, the older sibling? He's also talking like his mouth is full. So I don't know if he had some kind of issue when he crossed over with his mouth, or if he was unconscious, because it's like he's slurring his words, or like he's it's like that. Like when he's talking to me, it's hard for me to understand what he's saying. But he is indicating that there's an older human or animal sibling, feels like a male to me, that he wants to say that either he's with or he's left, but everything is okay because of this. Does that make sense, Kevin? What are you getting for Gavin?
Yeah, I was really tuning in. And this is so interesting. I'm distracted by a cat. So I don't know if there was a friendship with this dog and a cat in particular, or if before him. So this cat's in the spirit. So what the heck are you doing? I see it kind of orange in color, but in the energy of this cat, it's interesting. To answer your question, I pulled a card and I got the success card around your actual question, and look at the energy of that light. And so I know that absolutely, like Susan said, they get to bypass, and the depths of the relationship, because animals are so unconditional. They just get us in ways where, bringing through loved ones is one thing, but bringing through the pet energy and the animal energy, they're just so brilliant, and that connection is just so deep. And so sorry for your loss. The timing part about it, which is interesting, the second card that I pulled is the divine timing. And in the humanness, who wants to hear that when we want them to last forever? But there is lessons that they also teach us through the transition. And so knowing that that's not the end, in ways it's just the beginning, and it allows us to learn and to feel the depths of the emotion that we came to learn. And so it just feels really interesting. I'm curious about the cat. If you are here, Lori, or if you understood what Susan said, we'd be grateful to have you let us know in the comments.
Yeah, Lori is here, and she said her friend does not know much of Gavin's life before she adopted him. So there's some like blank history there. And normally we don't even read on things that aren't directly connected to you because but somehow Spirit just plopped that right in my face. So everything is okay. Gavin is okay. We on this side are, stuck with the grieving, but Gavin is okay.
That's perfect. So good. Yeah. We'll leave you with that, Lori. Thank you so much. All righty. We're going to go over here. The hummingbird. You put an animal on your avatar or your profile, and I'm all over it. So the question, Tina, will I ever move out of Houston, Texas? Interesting. I feel like you had an opportunity, Tina, that maybe just didn't really align. Yeah, the first one didn't quite align. I feel like some hesitation or caution around it. I pulled 2 timeline cards, and I got the 6 months to 18 months. And I feel like there's not just one opportunity for you that presents. One is potentially this year. And then if that one's not accepted, and because I feel like there has to be some work. I feel like there's some things that need to be aligned before you actually can fully make that decision. But the potential for the move, absolutely, without certainty. I feel there's impact for a few other energies. So people maybe in the mix of your consideration or what that's going to look like for them. And so the other option is kind of in that 18-month period. So a year and a half, and not to be vague in that, but what Spirit's saying is your choice in it is actually the timeline. And so whether you choose that now or down the road, both feel good. And then there's that, what you want out of it. So, but yeah, I get a yes. How about you, Susan?
Yeah, I get a yes too. And I get a yes on the timeline. I get December or July of next year, which is kind of close to what Kevin was talking about. I feel like you feel blocked, and I feel like something's going to open. Like Spirit is going to literally open a portal or open an opportunity for you. And I think what Kevin was talking about was when we are struggling with something, and we're just trying to make it happen, and then all of a sudden it opens with ease, we don't trust it. We're like, nuh-uh, that couldn't have happened that easy, right? This has been such a struggle. So we don't immediately act because we don't trust it. So what Kevin is saying, what I'm saying is, if something opens and you want to leave, trust it and go. It may not be open for like ever. It might be an opening that's like, hey, if you want this is happening, you have to kind of get out of here in 6 weeks. Mm-hmm. It's going to be that kind of thing where I feel like there's just an opening and you can grab it. So it might be a good idea to work through any blocks that you have right now about leaving. I mean, I know that you're ready to leave, but there's something that you still maybe need to work through. Like, like sometimes when we leave a place, the fact that we never did XYZ in that place, like I never was happy, or I never made this person love me. You know what I mean? You have to kind of break up with all those memories too. So start doing that work. So when the opening comes, you're ready.
I love that. I didn't see anything in the comments, but let us know, Tina, if that resonates with you. All righty. Where are we here?
I don't know. The heat is bad in Texas, you guys. It's kind of bad everywhere, or maybe not up in Canada, but it's kind of bad. But it's bad for us down here in Texas. So
more on the East Coast and central part of Canada, the heat. I'm in British Columbia, and it's been cooler this year so far. So it's
really
like,
nice.
yeah.
Nice. Well, we're all coming your way, Kevin.
Yeah, totally. Okay.
I'm pitching a tent in that beautiful outdoor scenery you have out there.
Got lots of room. Kathy, and thank you so much. Will my doctors be able to resolve my new onset double vision and allow me to resume my nursing career? Oh, interesting. Okay. Oh, they're going really
I'm getting a yes, but I'm also getting that stress is a problem. So, you know, it's almost like Spirit is saying, what if you could get your vision back, but maybe the best idea is not to go back into that kind of heavy, stressful environment, right? Like I don't know. I don't know what Kevin's getting, but I'm getting a yes, but kind of situation.
Well, you were saying that's so funny because I wrote down, as you're saying, that blood pressure.
Blood pressure, nice. Yeah, okay.
So there is something in it that's exacerbating that condition, but they started to draw your lens, and there's something that's a little clouded in it, and then they started to do these little zapping things. So I don't know if there's a laser technology or some sort of technology that you might need in order to assist a little bit. But that ultimately, I feel in this, the energy is, it feels workable. And so kind of two-parted, pardon me, one part being, even just down to the thoughts you're having about it. And so some of the choices around what you're doing personally to take care of yourself in it will contribute to that in either direction. So yeah, I feel like this will be, I feel like it's, yeah, I feel like it's been a while, but kind of like 3 months. I got the 3-month card, but do you have an exam coming up, Kathy? I'm curious because it's almost like some other test or something kind of new around it. I don't know, but the conversation's a bit different. So, and maybe that's just your options. But that it's a yes for me. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and she says yes, she has a thing, but it takes so long. In the meantime, I think listen to what Kevin's saying about even if your blood pressure, I don't know if it is up or not, but I'm telling you it is stress. And I'm telling you that to me, it's electricity. It's like high blood pressure or electricity more than like a physical lens that's, you know what I mean? So really work on your stress, like Kevin says, work on your stress. Just really, 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 I mean, zen out, girlfriend, zen out.
Amazing. Zen out. I love that.
I mean, assign yourself the job. Like, I think you're kind of like, you know, like, okay, 9 o'clock, it says meditate. Gonna do it. Like 1 o'clock, it says take a break, do some deep breathing, you know, schedule it like it's a job.
Love it.
Hey, thank you. Kevin's Loving Vibration is here. Thank you. And thank you to the moderators. Woohoo.
Yeah, thanks, everybody. Hi, Kevin. Nice to see you. Do you want to choose the next?
Oh gosh. Okay. Spirit just threw this right in my, you know, this is, I swear it's like spinning the wheel like Ivana. You know, what was that woman's name that spun the wheel on the Wheel of Fortune? You know, anyway, I don't know, you guys. This is my crazy life. Judy says, Kevin and Susan, I've been battling with the Social Security Administration since 2019 to get Social Security SSI. Is SSI Social Security something? You see if I get it this time. gosh darn it. I don't know what Kevin's getting, but I'm getting a little bit of a stalemate or a block. I'm happy to be wrong. I'm happy for Kevin to get something more positive.
Interesting.
It feels like a block and then it's released. Could be that you either A, get an attorney, B, go back through all your paperwork and you find out that some, like I literally have a friend who applied, and when they read back everything to her, this guy that took her information got everything wrong. Like, I don't even know how he did it. Like, she's like, I'm speaking the words, you know what I mean? And so you might find that there's something, that a box that's been mischecked or something like that, but it feels like stall, break, and then a breakthrough. Are you getting anything like that, Kevin, or different?
Yeah, kind of potentially. I don't know how to read this other than I got the within the 2 weeks. And so it feels
Nice.
like kind of in the near future, you'll have answer. And so I got the intuition card and I got the perseverance card. But interestingly enough, I got the failure card. And so I don't know if this is just the energy of, because you've been trying since 2019, but when you said the energy of breakthrough, that felt good. I think in the long run, it feels victorious in that. Yes, you will. I don't know if it's this time. I don't know. It's almost like I'm on the fence with this one for some reason.
Yeah, there's a stalemate. There's a stalemate. Yeah, it could even be that in 25, Biden changes something. You know what I mean? That Congress changes something, because it's like block, 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 and then it just relaxes, and you push on a door for so long, and then the door gives in, and you almost fall down because it's so easy. That's kind of what it feels like. But it's interesting. The 2 weeks. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in that span.
Yeah. That's interesting to me too. Hopefully that works out, Judy. All righty. Let us go to cool name. I don't know how to say it. Valicia Cigar. I love that name. It sounds very drag.
It does. Yeah.
Very drag name. Which job, US or Italy, I'm assuming, and best for husband. Maybe I'm reading this wrong. Susan, do you want to try?
Best for husband, Naheem, immigration, and will it be approved when?
Okay.
So which job, the United States or Italy, and best for husband, Naheem, immigration, and will it be approved and when? I think you can break it up into 3 things. I think US, Italy, immigration, and approved when.
Okay.
Really, I think for me, I almost want to say United States or abroad. Like I'm not even sure I want to make it Italy. I want to say here or there, like maybe broaden your scope a little bit. Did you get something interesting, Kevin?
I got it's kind of cute. I don't know why I'm going back to this deck, but I got the love card, the patience card, and then the confusion. And I think that speaks to, like, maybe that's my interpretation. So how I'm asking it to spirit. I feel like there's reunion. And so the placement is like you said, around US or Italy, or other is kind of what I get in that. And then the timeline, I feel it's a bit out. I don't feel like it's even necessarily this year. No, I don't feel like it's even this year that you'll have that. Yeah, I feel there's some more. Yeah, that's interesting. So in that, I got the failure. Eventually, I think, again, it's that, and this feels like a bit of a trend in what Spirit is saying about the perseverance part of it. So being patient. And that's actually been a big theme in my readings this week, is about the patience. And so it's the timeline. We want it to go according to our preference in this, and this. And then there's reasons why that we don't see always behind the scenes of what that is. So hang in there. I do feel like that love card is that is standing out for me. So there will be that love and kind of reunion, if you will. And it's not to say that you're separated entirely, but yeah. Interesting.
And this is advice for everybody, right? Like when we say it can only be Italy because I have status in Italy, or it can only be in the United States because I have status in the United States, I want you to understand miracles happen every day. There could be that Naheem has some kind of qualification, or somebody has some connection to a different country, and that country just so happens really wants that and will make an accommodation. So it's really important when you're trying to manifest things that you don't tell spirit what the guidelines are, because spirit can make anything happen. So you just say, surprise and delight me, right? If Poland calls you, maybe that's really cool. And you're like, I never thought about it, but let me consider it, right? So if you'll if you expand the options, spirit can then find more solutions. But if you're only going to look for options like this, and spirit only has to find the options like this, then it's going to take longer for them to fish in that small pond.
Yeah, I agree. All right. All the best with that. Sarah, when is the best time to retire? This year or next year? This year or next year? They're kind of giggling. That's so funny. Retire? You really want to retire? You're not going to fully retire. That's funny. Oh,
Nice.
that's funny. Yeah. It's so good. I mean, here's the thing again, it's about the choices. And I feel like, you know, the power that you have to really create. I'll show you the card. I got the timeline of within a month, and I got the Garden of Venus, which is all about the rest and renewal. So I feel like it's for it's in your reach, kind of as quick as you want it. Yeah. And just a nice energy of love there. I do think that you'll stay busy. They're reminding me of, just before we went on, I was having a conversation with Susan, just about creative projects that actually turn into like full-time jobs. And they're reminding me of that. So I feel like Spirit knows that you're going to stay busy in that, and perhaps allow you to tap into more of that creativity and passion to still be productive and so on. So yeah, I feel it can be as soon as this year for sure. Feels good to me.
I agree. Everything Kevin said, I would suggest that you, just to add on what Kevin is saying, make sure that you go check with whoever it is, like your financial planner or the HR person. I feel like you need facts and figures, number one. Number two, because why would you continue working to next year, right? Like, I agree. The energy suggests now she can retire tomorrow if she wants, but there's something that you're not sure about. So that's what you really want to get clear on. And to get clear on it, you need facts and figures, right? Get out of your head of thinking, well, if I worked until next year, I'd have this extra money, or I'd have this extra thing. Put it on paper. Sometimes when we put things on paper, we can go, oh, it's only going to be this amount of money. Oh, it's not worth it, right? Number one. Number two, there could be a situation coming up where work tries to convince you to stay. Again, if you know what you want, then you can make the decision for you and not make the decision for them. Because there's really a lesson setting up here about letting yourself down, right? And if you say, well, who cares? I don't mind working another 6 months or another year. It's no sweat off my back. Trust me when I say 6 months into this, you're going to be like, oh my God, what was I thinking? I wish I had never said yes, right? So it's what Kevin said. It's about empowerment, right? Empower yourself to do what's best for you, but trust your facts and figures to back it up and make you feel better, and then take the leap and rest and relaxation and have fun.
Yeah, which is interesting. This one's standing out to me. And so Donna Andrews says, do I still have cancer, or should I continue treatment? Which first of all, Donna, if you're in the chat and you can respond to this, I'm aware of a female motherly energy that's around you. And so I'm wondering if that's mom in the spirit for you. And she's just really drawing this energy of healing around you. And when Susan was saying that last part about the rest and relaxation, I'm going to ask everybody just to be in the energy of anybody who needs healing in this moment, to really share that energy and love of spirit for those in need of healing. Donna, Spirit's not going to tell me whether you do or not. I feel like that's something that it's just not the information that they will give me. But what I can take from this is, yeah, they want to just slow things down for you. And so the worry that you're having and the thoughts that you're having, they just really want to send a sense of calm to you around this, because the worry and the fear is not helping you. And so as best you can, to be mindful of the thoughts that you're having around this. Spirit's really drawing close to you. And I am again aware of this female motherly energy that is really coming close to you. And so just allowing that loving, healing energy to come in. And so on that level of just the emotion, receive the healing that's being sent your way through this very loving, motherly energy. Yeah, I'll leave you with that, but sending you lots of love, Donna.
Sending you lots of love, Donna.
One mother or sister. Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. It almost feels like a shawl, like a knitted, crocheted shawl that they're drawing around you. But take heart in that. You've got support. And I just think you just need more healing. You know what I mean? However you get it, you need more healing. And we have to do our part of the healing too, right? We can't just expect the doctors to do it all. There's a lot of energy healing that also is very complementary.
Yeah. And as we're saying that, there was another one that just popped up and now I'm losing it. I'm so sorry. That she said she just had a CT scan. Why did that disappear? Okay, that's really weird. Oh, I've lost it. That's so crazy.
That is crazy because I don't see it either.
That is weird. It was there and then it literally just disappeared.
Well, you're in tomorrow's timeline, so that's
I know. Maybe that's what's.
You're not even in Australia, Kevin. You're just in Canada. You don't have any right to be in tomorrow's timeline. Get back here.
I literally saw it, and someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I saw someone that just had a CT scan. It was about cancer as well, and the comment is gone. I was reading it because it was like we were speaking to both of you, and Spirit was speaking to both of you, and perhaps you understand the mother part of it. Because I feel like it was a mother relationship. Unless grandmother for you, Donna, was very motherly, I feel like that was also for that other person that had wrote that. So if you're hearing this again and you did write that comment, put it back into the chat, because it's Spirit wants to acknowledge you in that, so that you receive that same loving and healing energy that was coming in. So, and I feel that's just testament to them really reaching as many people as they can. Beautiful.
100%.
All right. All righty. Where should we go? Do you want to choose?
Spin the wheel.
Vanna. That was it.
Vanna. That's it. Vanna. There's some in the starred category. Here's one that's a mediumship. Vicky, I'm so sorry. Your mom just passed. Does she have a message for me? You didn't make it in time. I'm so sorry, Vicky. I didn't make it in time for my dad either, or my mother-in-law at the time. They really do choose when they're going to go, and they have their own reasons for it. It's not meant to be hurtful ever. But it's just their own reasons. And sometimes, the guides are saying the angel Uber shows up. And you got to get on it. You know what I mean? You're like, but wait, I'm not ready. I want to wait until my daughter gets here. And the angel Uber doesn't take no for an answer, right? So please know that it's not your fault that you didn't get there in time. And that in all the readings I've done, no one has ever said they should have been there. No one has ever said that. Believe me, they can bend time. And if it's supposed to happen, it will. Kevin, do you want to jump in?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's always perfect in the sense of what, as the soul that's transitioning, what they need. And sometimes that looks different for us, but knowing that it's always, and as difficult as it can be, it's always in that divine kind of like placement and timing. And so knowing as she transitions that there's no energy of upset or regret or wanting it to be different from the spirit side. So what we're left with are some of those things. And so, of course, sorry for your loss. I am aware of another female with the V name and then the S name. I got the awareness that she's going to show you, and you might have seen these already, but the repetition of the number 1. So 111, watch for those. I was taken to the heart energy around her, and then the month of May is significant. And I feel like there's something that she's acknowledging about you writing in memorial. So words about her. I don't know if you're actually writing a speech about it or if you're actually writing something that's going to be written on something or engraved on something, but she's acknowledging that. And then she also, I got this smell of the fresh flowers. So I don't know if you would understand the fresh flowers like that literally might just be around you, but the acknowledgement of that. So letting go of the part that we want it to look different. So the guilt and those types of emotions, they don't want us to hold on to those. So feel mom's love and be with that and allow that to just lessen the guilt of not being there, or it should have been this way, because spirit doesn't hold that type of emotion or energy. So that's what's coming through for you, Vicki.
That's a lot of information, Vicki. I hope you were able to kind of get it all. Wait, okay, here. And I was going to say the word lilacs. Perfect. Lilac. I was literally going to say the word lilacs. Okay. Yes, and you did write on the wall. Perfect. There it all is. So, Vicki, hopefully you understand that this is 100% proof that your mother is here speaking to us, right? Mostly Kevin. But I did get lilacs, but only after Kevin opened the door so wide that I could get anything. She loves you. She really, really, really sends her love to you. And I think that you guys had some laughs together. And I think that you guys could really just laugh about things that didn't maybe you got each other's sense of humor and other people thought, what are they laughing about? But you guys could get giggly, you know what I mean? Or you could share a chuckle about something that was just odd that you both picked up on. Anyway, she sends her love. Everything is okay. She's fine. She made the trip. She's good.
And then I have to say one other thing because it's with me, and so I just want to release it. But do you understand the sore neck or jaw, Vicki, or someone around you that has the sore neck or the sore jaw or something? I got a bit of energy in that, so I'm not sure if that's you or for the next person, but yeah, there you are. We'll leave you with a sore neck. No.
Oh no, we're not going to do it. We're not going to leave you with a sore neck. Right. Best of luck, dear. Sending you love. Okay. Take really good care.
And let's just stay in the energy of mom. Hi, Mark. Nice to see you. Any messages from mom? Maybe it's you. Mark, do you have a sore neck or jaw? That's interesting. Her name is Diane. Her name is Diane.
Okay. Diane, your mom, Mark. Does somebody like music? Mark, do you like music? I feel like, did you grow up with music, listening to music? Music is like just coming through strong for me right now. But it's connected to your mom. So maybe you shared a music interest or something when you were younger, or perhaps you have a memory when you were younger. Oh, and Mark does have a sore neck and jaw. So it was Mark that you were picking up on. Perfect. Okay. Actually, a few people have some sore necks and jaws. Okay.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, go ahead, Kevin. What do you get for? We all have sore necks.
Yeah. and Mark, I know you a little bit, and so she's just wanting me to just be in the energy of if it was just like you and I here. And so she's like, because she's really drawing close to you and she wants it to be personal and she wants you to feel her, because sometimes you say, I can't feel you. And so she wants you to feel the presence of her spirit. She's always with you. And so as you think about her and as you look, and I feel like there's a hutch or a kind of like an armoire, and I see her picture and she sees you looking at her picture. And when you talk about her and you have your moments where things are really difficult, she comes so close to you and she really holds you in that caress. And I feel like she sees you as that little boy, Mark, and she just wants you to bring in the energy of that playfulness and your curiosity and how you saw the world in a way that it was like anything was possible. And she knows that you have moments where things get really difficult and your mind tells you one thing and your body tells you another thing. And in that, she just wants you to know that you are more than just those thoughts that you are having, and that the temporary kind of challenging part, sometimes it feels like it's a long time, but there's a coming out of it for you. And so she really just brings in, and I feel like a lot of the moms are coming tonight to really just bring in the energy of healing for you, for all of you, because of the suffering and the human can be so difficult at times. And so it's like this gentle nurture for you to keep going, to keep going forward, that things will get easier for you. And so yeah, I don't know if you light candles for her, Mark. And again, I see the picture, but it's like it feels just so personal, and know that she's with you in those moments. And she tries to help you with what you're going through. And she recognizes that there has been some challenge. And so she just brings in so much love for you at this time. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful energy, Mark.
Did you say music?
Yeah.
What's the not the harp? I'm hearing like the music
Harp.
of the harp music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Celestial. That
Yeah.
could be celestial too. And he does light candles, he says.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's really beautiful energy. It's so hard because, they're there. It's not in the 3D. I get it, but we can see it. The energy is beautiful.
Yeah. And Mark, one more thing. She keeps showing me some papers, and it feels like, not to get in your business, but moms in your business, just around like business stuff. And it's like, because it feels like there's something new coming in for you, but being mindful of like just the contractual part of it. So just being thorough in some of the papers that you're going through. I don't know if that makes sense to you right now, or if it's something that's just about to drop in. But to just be, it's not really a sense of like deep caution, but just a mindfulness to make sure that it's clear to you, so that you know what the specifics of it is what she's saying. Yeah. All righty. Yeah, watch for the harp music. It'll be something sometimes like that, where it's like all of a sudden it's like you're hearing on the TV or a commercial will pop in, and it's the energy of that. Harp to me is very angelic, and I'm not saying that that's what it'll be for you. Perhaps it's just that vibration that she's making us aware of. Yeah, could be coming in, Mark, for sure. So watch for that, because it does feel kind of new. And I know what you do for a living, so perhaps it's something to do with that. Feels good, nonetheless. We'll leave you with that. All righty. Oh, that's interesting. Can we do this one?
Yeah.
I love these questions. Is my house haunted? Oh, funny. Haunted is such an interesting word. If I could just go ahead, because I actually felt already aware of it. My ears got really hot. I do feel the energy of a male in spirit. I feel it's harmless in the sense. So if you want to call that a haunting, perhaps that's what you would define it. It's just the presence of the spirit. I feel in particular, it's an older gentleman, and I feel like he's a bit guarding of the space and also on your behalf, so it doesn't feel threatening in the least. To me, the energy feels really protective. I also see some younger people around there. I don't know if that's in your specific house or like just in the neighboring house beside you, but there's I feel like he's watchful, and so some of the things that you hear, you might hear the sound of it, or it's like, oh hey, I thought I closed that. Their energy is able to manipulate some of those things. That's not just your imagination, but it's almost like you're in control of that. So if that's not something that you want to be in your space, then you really just direct that it's boundaries, and that you're not okay with that. We don't meet it with fear, and that's the point of difference. So if you're okay with it, it's because it is so non-threatening. It feels like, I don't want to say this is your guide, because I feel like the presence of this particular energy was there before you moved there. So there's just that longevity of the history, and so sharing that space, if you will, is just within our have conversation and be clear with your intention or your desires of what that looks like for you. That's what I get. So
100% agree. Plus, he's got bad teeth. I'm just saying. Really bad teeth, like maybe even bad breath. I'm just saying.
That's funny.
Poor guy. But raise the vibration of the house. The thing a ghost will do, though, ghosts like lower vibration houses. I'm not saying your house has got a low vibration, but the ghost will lower the vibration just being there, because they're kind of trapped, and they're not angels. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he's the devil, but I'm just saying his vibration is not the same. So I'd suggest you raise your vibration of your house by playing happy music, play happy videos, happy shows. If you're a person that really likes, you live in the attic, of course you do. If you're a person that likes, slasher movies or true crime, you're really kind of potentially lowering you've had some grids up. Raise your vibration. It's even more important than grids, because grids is protection. Now you're going into a defensive stance. You're defending yourself, right? Raise your vibration. Fill the attic with light. Fill it with light. Just imagine fairies and light and sparkles and unicorns, and he'll move out.
Yeah, it's really about claiming the space and not going into that energy of the fear, which, is sometimes easier said than done, but that typically will intensify it. I mean, the energy that I do get is that it's non-threatening. So you get to decide at the end of the day, because it's your house and it's your space. And so just really being clear with that should really take care of it. And to answer your question, send them to the light. That's just it. And so sometimes in their confusion of kind of, where they're at and what the environment is, they do sometimes need a little bit of direction. So absolutely. I smudge often. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. It's an interior. You guys, raising the vibration is not just smudging and grids. I'm just telling you guys, raise your vibration. Everything will get better for you. Everything.
Tyler said that's why.
There you go, Tyler.
Totally.
Watch Little Pony at night. Yeah. That's just as good as anything. I swear to God it is. I love Aspie says, at least he'll move downstairs. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't stay here. You can go downstairs.
Totally.
So it'd be interesting if you get weird smells. If you get weird smells, that's what I'm picking up with this guy.
All righty.
Ain't nobody need no weird smells.
Right. Michelle is asking, I'm having knee surgery on both knees at different times. Anything I should be made aware of through this process? Wow. I just heard that it's going to be better than you expected. And I feel like you have somebody. that might have shared what their experience it was, and maybe it's specifically with a knee or their hip, but it's like this goes better than expected. And I feel like within the day you're walking, I don't know. Okay, I'm just gonna say what I'm saying. In the day you're walking, maybe that's how quick it will be. Is that a thing? Can you walk the same
It's
days?
a thing. Yeah, it's a thing.
Okay.
They
Then
make you now. Yeah.
don't question spirit. So within the day,
Exactly.
you'll be walking. And then I feel like
Exactly.
yeah, you're halfway there. So yeah, it feels good. Better than expected. I don't know if there's anything cautionary to be aware of. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm getting anything cautionary, but I feel like there could be what is that? Health. Perfect.
Amazing.
Perfect.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I think I interrupted you. Could there be a choice about metal, like titanium or metal or stainless, or there's like some like, I don't know when this happens, but I'm hearing that it could be like, oh, you have a choice in this particular part, right? So you might, just so that you're not caught off guard, you might do some research and see if there are choices. You might even contact the doctor in advance and say, do you offer these things? Because I feel like you could get to an appointment and they're like, oh, by the way, you're getting this. And you're like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, you're the doctor, you tell me. And they're going to like, I just want you to be prepared. That's all I'm seeing is some kind of like, we don't have this, we can do this, or there's some kind of change like that. Not a big deal.
Amazing. Hi, Mariana. Nice to see you. All righty. Do you want to choose? Great question. Thanks, everybody, for being here.
What's that?
I said, and thanks, everybody, for being here.
Yes, thanks, everybody, for being here. So Karen Conway is one of our moderators. And when you were talking about, does somebody have a sore neck or a CT, she has a CT. So that was right around the time you were asking. Okay. But she didn't mention it in the chat. She says, Kevin, you're psychic, because I didn't mention it. And her mom had also passed, and she knows she's around her.
Oh my God, I said the mom too.
You said the mom too, right? So she fits the bill, but she never put that in the comments, right? So just throwing that out there. I still see continued healing and good news for you, Karen. And I feel like your mom is busy. Did she have dementia or does she have Alzheimer's? I feel like she's in a field sniffing flowers, or she's kind of got that energy to me that makes me feel like maybe towards the end, she wasn't as sharp as she was, or there's something about, perhaps she was on medication that made her less sharp. Because I feel like she was a super sharp woman, but right now she doesn't seem as sharp. So it's like she's pointing that out to me. But other than that, I think all good, and that is all good too. So it's all good. Oh, okay. So the cancer went to her brain. Okay. Yeah. So she's just showing me that she was just kind of not her normal self, right? Like, and I think that was a marked difference between who she was and who she became because of that. But she's fine. She's perfectly fine. It's all good.
All I have to add is just the. What are you showing me? Sorry, I don't know which direction to take this. I feel like this sense of freedom around, and perhaps this just is because of how she left the physical. And I feel a little bit of energy of like a bit of unfinished business or conversation in it. And it's like not revisiting that. Where your focus should be right now is, again, it's interesting, is on the health. And so just really allowing, your energy to remain calm and to be, you know, gentle with things. And it's like little kind of like sprints, but then it's like take time to actually take care of yourself and to rest. And so I feel like she just brings that energy of the mother that would want you to not be in the worry of things. And of course, when it's around our health, that can be really challenging. And so it's interesting today that a lot of people are just needing a lot of support in their health, you know, emotionally, physically. So yeah, Karen, that's what I have to say on that. So continued healing for you. And did Karen, did you say that you had cancer?
Yes,
Oh,
she's been
okay.
fighting it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because that's kind of what, yeah, because there's this relatability. I think that was it. And so,
Yeah, it was the CT, the cancer, the mom, the whole thing.
okay.
But it's weird because we still can't find that comment. But I wonder if you saw it, if you just saw Karen's mind thought as a comment.
Yeah. Well, the truth is, I actually saw it objectively. And
Well,
so,
there it is. Then
yeah,
yeah, you saw it in your
really
mind.
did. So,
You saw Karen's thought bubble.
yeah. Wild.
It is wild.
All right. Lots of love to you, Karen. Mhm.
Absolutely.
And thanks for being such a great moderator.
Yes.
Yeah. Prayers to Karen. Do you want to choose, or did I choose? You go ahead. I did.
Okay, look, Spiritual Sean says 61, great longtime employee, let go and looking. Do you see
Okay.
anything? I'm really drawn to this because I think that we could say, yeah, Spiritual Sean, you could get a job. Like Spirit is like, you can get a job. But I feel like this all happened for a reason. I kind of feel like Spirit is doing like one of those things where they throw a block up and they're wanting you to make a turn. Like they put up a roadblock ahead sign. And you're like, what the heck? And you're like, I got a detour. I don't even know this route. I don't even know where this goes. What is this detour? I really feel like you could go straight forward and try to find another job, but I feel like there's a detour here. Do you get a sense for what Spiritual Sean could be detouring to? I mean, I'm getting astrology. I think also astronomy, but I think astrology. I'm getting numerology. I'm getting a healer. I'm getting you have this kind of coaching energy, Sean, like this teacher energy, like this real pastoral, you know what I mean? Like this helping people, guiding people. You give really good advice. You're very grounded. I mean, I think you could have a temper, but you're mostly grounded. And I mean, me too. I have a temper, but I'm mostly grounded. Let me know if that makes any sense. God, I'd love to know. I'm an empath. God, I'd love to know. Does astrology at all ping you, or numerology? There's such weird things for me to even say. Let me know if that pings you at all. But you know, it just feels like maybe there's a new opening for a different kind of career. Maybe, you know, you could take you're a Taurus. Everyone comes to me for advice. Okay. Yeah. Well, there's a reason. I'm pretty sure not all Tauruses people go to for advice. I mean, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Oh my God, you've already gotten a subscriber to your YouTube channel and you don't even have one yet.
Wow. That's interesting. You know what? And I think this is perhaps one of your guides. And so if you know your guides, you might be able to place this, but I heard to just lighten up around it. And so, I mean, they're not poking at you by any means, but it's lighten up and have some fun. And I pulled a couple of cards and I feel you're on the right path. And I got this energy of expecting the unexpected. And that one stood out to me more, where it's like Spirit wants you to see. And they're bridging back to times in your life where you were really held. And I don't know if you would understand this about they're reminding me of something that they said today. And so let me just be clear on this. This would have already happened. And so it was a time where it could have been, it was a bit touch and go with you actually staying here on the planet. And so with that, what they're bringing in is this energy of how held you are by spirit, how loved you are, and that you're needed to be here, and that your contribution to the world is exactly that. It's big. And so they want you to see yourself in the way that they see you. And I don't think you always do. And you make it, a little bit less than or smaller than it actually is. So being in that energy of really being in your power, being that expression, I feel like you have many options as far as, and that's why, Susan, you were naming this and that. I think that's just it. You could step into almost anything and do really well at it. So have some fun in it. And the energy of when things feel enjoyable and there's joy and there's lightness around it, that feels like the energy of if you need direction as far as kind of like narrowing it down, those options energetically stand out a little bit more, is what they're making me aware of, Sean. So that's what I'm doing.
If you need to get a job to pay the bills while you're having this fun, while you're kind of expanding your wings and learning about numerology and tarot, and you're just having fun, right? Then spirit will support you by bringing you a job to pay the bills, right? Mm-hmm. It's kind of like you work with them, they'll work with you, right? So, but what doesn't work is when we get a job that we're given all of our energy to, and we're not doing anything that we're supposed to be doing as far as like expansion or ascension, then the energy doesn't balance out. So you can get a job as long as you also allow yourself to expand.
Exactly.
He said, spiritual signs, so much fun. Love it already. Good. You're taking the advice already. We love that.
This one's standing out to me, and I'm so sorry for your loss, Gary. Yeah, and is he all right? Absolutely. And so there's one thing in thousands of readings that I've done, and so many that do choose to take their own lives, is that there is no persecution, there is no different judgment, there is no judgment, pardon me, on how we leave the physical world. And so, yes, the same embrace, the same reunion, the same acceptance into that energy of love and spirit is for all of us. And so the reflection time where they get to look at the choices that they've made, that goes for everybody. And so that can look just different. And they do that not as persecution or punishment. It's to help us learn, because we continue to learn on the other side. And that's the thing. We don't go into this perfection in the spirit where we stop learning. We continue to grow and expand in that soul. And so knowing that suicide is a tough one and people get uncomfortable around it, I'm glad that you asked the question and know that, yes, he is very much okay. And I feel like he's handing you, and I'm not sure I fully understand what you're saying, but I understand the energy of it. And he's handing you a bouquet of flowers as well. And this is celebration. So either you're having a celebration or someone around you is having a recent celebration, if I could, if you would understand that. But do know in your heart that he is very much okay. Yeah.
I concur. And anybody who's in that kind of soul pain, may they know grace and mercy and healing, right? And that's what he's getting right now, is grace and healing and mercy. All right. And I just want to say hey to Donna Norris, who's in the chat, who's also got a channel. I think she's got a live coming up this Saturday with a pet psychic. So check out her channel. Okay. And what is it? Do either of you read for one another? What do you do when you need a psychic guidance you can't get on your own? Oh my God. Are you going to tell our story? Are you going to tell our story?
You go ahead.
You want me to tell it?
Isn't that just so funny, though?
It's funny. It's hilarious.
I mean, what I'll share is that I was like, can I share?
Yeah.
Susan and I were supposed to get together yesterday, and it was
We
supposed
did
to
get
be.
together.
Well, we did. Yes, we were supposed to get together, but the intention was that I was going to interview her, and it didn't turn out that way because while I was having my shower, Spirit was already knocking on the door, going like, "Hey, we need to get you aware of this." And okay, and then I was like, "Oh, okay." So I come out here, and well, the conversation continued. So we never did get to the interview. A couple hours later, yes, to answer your question, we do. We do, or I do. We have.
No, we have. No, we do. We support each other, right? So I mean, we
Mhm.
sat down to do this interview, which we had been planning, and Kevin looks at me and he says, and I know the look, you just recognize the look that you're channeling, that like, there's just something that changes. And he says, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yes, go on. And he's like,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, let me get a notebook. Let me get a notebook. So yeah, we ended up having a really awesome conversation that was not planned because Spirit said, look, Susan needs this help and you're the perfect person to deliver the message. And it just happened, right? So, but this can happen to your life too, right? Like you can get this same message from somebody standing in line at the grocery store that's a stranger. You could get a message from a song on the radio, or you could get a message from a coworker, and you're like, and you ask them later, and they're like, I didn't say that. I don't even know what you're talking about. Like they don't have any memory because they're channeling, right? So
yeah,
we do.
Yeah, that's curious to me. Thanks for asking. And
Yeah.
thank you for sharing. Wonderful. All righty.
It's hard to read yourself too, guys. It's really, really hard to read yourself.
Yeah. There's Donna. Thanks, Donna. That's your channel's name, Soul Level Intuitive?
Yeah.
Wonderful. I subscribed. I did subscribe.
Yay.
Wonderful. Everybody go over and subscribe to her channel. Yeah, Donna's lovely. I got to work and hang out with her in Chicago and had a lovely time.
Yeah.
Very nice.
That's awesome.
All righty.
Yeah.
All righty. Do you want to choose the next?
You know what? I do. There's two that I really just Spirit keeps popping in front of me. Matthew says, thank you. I had a feeling, darn it, that's not the right one. It's a Matthew here. I started. I'll find it. Matthew is in a rut. Basically, is Anthony. It's Anthony. It's not even Matthew. Hello, Spirit. Hello, Susan. I'm in a rut. I need help from my guides. They feel so far away lately. I so vibe with this, right? Like ruts are so difficult, just so hard to break through or break out of them. And I feel like I have a PhD in it, but I'll just share with you some things that I really find that really works. First of all, break up your patterns. If you drive to the grocery store a certain route, reverse your route. Literally reverse the route in which anything that you do in a pattern, reverse it and do it differently. I was just thinking about this today that, some people who don't kind of get into patterns, like always eat this for lunch or typically eat this for lunch or typically gravitate towards this kind of thing or typically do this at this time of night, like you always sit in that same chair, right? People like us that have patterns and habits, we get in ruts. And the pandemic made us all into a big rut because we stayed in our homes for 2 years, a lot more than we normally do. And that energy just got compacted in our homes. So reverse all your patterns. Move furniture around your house. Yes, you're going to stub your toe and probably cuss Susan for the first week. That's okay. I can take it. But if you always sit here, sit there. It's even going a different direction. Like if I walk my dog a different route, I can be walking down the same street and go, where am I? I'm lost. It's just because I've always seen it from this angle. And reversing the angle, it looks like a completely different street. So that's a really good way to break out of ruts. Add new things to your life too. Add new anything. If you don't normally watch comedies, watch a comedy. If you don't normally watch drama, watch a drama. Spice it up. What do you think?
Mm.
Maybe you can give him some specific things.
It's interesting. I was listening to what you were saying because it was resonating, and I think that's I love that. I felt like that was spirit reaching to more than just Anthony. So Anthony, thanks for asking the question, because I feel like that is one of the points that they're making, is that you're not alone in this. And so sometimes we can feel like we're alone in this, and we can feel lonely, and that they are so far away, and that's our perception of it. Because in fact, there's nobody has closer or less or more distance from spirit. We all have that access. So know that you are just of equal importance in that. They kept showing me symbols around you, and I'm not sure if you understand or how you resonate with symbols. I'm not sure of what I don't think I can describe them, but
like runes or different symbols.
Yeah, kind of like that, where it's like there's lines and dots and but symbols around you. And so as far as guidance, there's invite for you to sit in the stillness, because I feel like you're busy in your head. They're like thoughts and thoughts and thoughts. And so just in that thinking and that repetition of some of the thoughts that you're having, they're just like, okay, and you can sit in the stillness. So really that's your place of power. And so it's to quiet out here, it's going to quiet in here, and you're going to have better communication that way. Our participation, I'll share one last thing, is that when one time I was doing a meditation and I was being demanding, and I wanted something, and I wanted it in the minute, and I wanted spirit to give it to me. And I was really being demanding. I wasn't requesting at all. And I was like, come closer, come closer. And spirit said, you take a step closer. And so and it was like an aha. My head went like, oh, I think I probably opened my eyes, because it was so profound that our own participation in this is so necessary. And so moving through the feeling that they're far away, know that that is an illusion. And so really just stepping into that place of the stillness, I feel that communication will be easier, and you'll feel the presence of the spirit in that space, Anthony. So that's what's coming through for you. Mm-hmm.
I love that. That's beautiful. And that's a lot of the message that he gave me too yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to throw this on the screen because this is exactly what we were talking about. Sandra Lee says, a man at a bus stop gave me advice to work up until I drop, that maybe I should retire earlier than planned. I'm taking the message to heart after listening to you all. I may need to chill out. This is exactly what I'm saying. Spirit speaks through people. Anybody, you know what I mean? A stranger, a friend, a fellow psychic, a song. So yes, dear, it's absolutely, that was a message. 100%. That was a message for you.
Yeah, I love that. Can I actually say those two? Because I forgot. Oh my gosh. So we interrupt this program. Spirit came to me earlier, and so they made me write.
Oh, yeah.
I was aware of, so first of all, I was aware of a fatherly energy for someone. And so just bear with me in this information. So it might be for someone here, if you understand it. It might be for someone watching the replay, and or both. But I heard the name Cindy or Cynthia. I was aware of the father in the spirit. I heard the names John and L or Albert. I heard there was a Canada connection. Great country. I did have a specific fragrance. And so the awareness of this fragrance, of this fatherly energy, you would recognize that. So you've had moments where you've smelt his fragrance. And then I heard something about the new wheels. So I don't know if you got new wheels on something, or if that was just a way of saying a new vehicle. But I also, when I became closer in my awareness to him, I heard him speaking his own voice, and I was like, what is this? And I feel like you have recordings of his voice that you will listen to. And so just being in that closeness with him, someone's about to move. And then there's the highlight about the month of November and the month of July. So if anyone can place that father in the spirit. I also heard the name Jack or Jackie, which I also didn't say, but that was that one. And so separate from that was another male in the spirit. I heard his name as Carl, or like the C name, Carlo or Carl. I heard the L name like a Liz or Elizabeth. And then Carl made me aware of his heart energy. So I feel like that was in relation to how he passed. There's a Mary that's still on the earth plane, and someone has the two boys. And I feel like Carl was showing me memories of his experience here on the earth. And he drew my awareness first to John Deere, and I thought it was a name. And I was like, no, that's the brand. So like excavator, tractor, that kind of machinery, there would be some connection to that. You see owls, and the owl is a sign for you. And then there's also a collection of books. The significant months for Carl is the month of April and the month of June. And you would understand that somebody has a wedding coming up. So either you're attending it or you know of someone that is getting married. But if anyone understands all of that, let us know in the comments.
Well, we have a Karen M right off the bat. My father's name is John. My sister's name is Cynthia. I have his voice recorded on my phone recordings. And he lives in Burlington, or she lives in Burlington, Ontario. So,
oh my heavens. Well done, Dad. I couldn't get his name. Or was John his name, or who's John? Or do you understand the J name or the Albert? That's so interesting. This feels, and it's Karen, I do feel like this is for you.
Yeah, how could it not be? She has recorded his voice. I mean, this is very specific stuff. John, the name is John. Oops, sorry. That's her dad. John is her dad. That is amazing. Good job, Kevin.
Wow.
You are on fire. Good job. And good job to John.
And Albert is his dad. Albert, what? That is so great. Okay. Well done to John. That was a real, so maybe the rest of it you're not sure of, but the November month was significant. July. Thank you so much for being here, Karen. Because sometimes it's like we get this and I feel like there's a little bit of a wait, but then also watch for his fragrance or the smell of him. I feel like you either have had that or will have that. And then the other part is the new wheels. Do you understand that?
Well, here's a piggyback. Debbie R., my father's name, who is deceased, is Albert. I have recordings of his messages. He left me over the years on a voice that I still listen to.
Interesting.
So, Debbie, does any of the other things like the smell, the fragrance, or the wheels, like a new car or a wheelchair or something like that?
Interesting. And you know what? Sometimes, and that's the thing. So Debbie, with it, knowing that if you just felt the energy of your father, know that that's him also trying to reach out to you. So even if the rest of it doesn't fit, the fact that you actually just claimed that, know that that's a hello from him as well. And then Tracy Lynn is saying, what? Is she recognizing the other one? Wouldn't that be great if they were both here? My father's name begins with C, and there is an April and June connection. There is also an upcoming wedding. It may not be for me, but there are those matches. And also my grandfather was a farmer on the tractor.
I think
it's like, yes, and dad and grandfather. So that's really interesting. Well, they were present before, and I was like, yes, gentlemen, I will get to you.
They got like the early bird tickets, like, they came before the show.
That's so wonderful. Oh, and Karen says, Karen, I think everything, like your dad communicated, she said, we're looking for a new vehicle.
Perfect. Her dad nailed it, and you nailed it, Kevin. You guys are awesome. Congratulations. That is that is next level mediumship right there, for real. I don't know. Don't judge me by that, because don't judge people by Kevin, because he's in a different level. He's in a different league.
Oh, so good. Wagadesk, nice to see you. Oh my gosh, this is an old friend. Nice to see you.
Oh, awesome.
I haven't seen him in many, many years. It's so great to see you. I think of you quite often. Nice. Yeah, wonderful. Nice to see you. Oh, wow. I'm on a high from that one.
You should be.
Yeah. And Debbie R says, Albert is my father. I have messages that I listened to from him as he was alive over the years on my voicemail. That's so wonderful. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That feels like a good place to end.
That's yeah, go out on a
Yeah,
high. That's what
I
I would say.
know.
That's like
And
winning the
just feel their
championship.
love. Yeah.
Nice job, Kevin. Nice job.
Mhm. That is exciting. You're right. It was exciting. And that's just it. And so in it, what they just demonstrated, and it's interesting because they kept saying to wait for me. And now I get it, because what we all just felt there was the presence of the spirit. And so for that, that communication and that connection is just so beautiful. So yeah, we'll leave that with everybody. Susan, Lynn, thank you so much for joining me. It's always a pleasure. I know lots of people said it in the chat. We couldn't acknowledge everything, but people just enjoy the energy that is created. And when we come together and we share that, it's such a blessing to hold that space for spirit. So I love doing that with you. I love each and every one of you for holding this space for spirit and to be here with us. And I know that tonight is a big night, and we're sending all of the energy and love to your President Biden, to just be unwavering in his delivery of the message. I sent him healing. We sent him healing. I feel like he has the presence of spirit all around him. I see it every time I see that man. He has a very, very unwavering team that hold him up for this. And so in that, I know that things will go really beautifully, and that the changes are coming. I saw someone else worried about the LGBTQ community and the threat around that. It's hollow. And so little things can change, but what's bigger in it is love. And so holding into that energy, don't be in the fear, you guys. Step out of that fear consciousness. We can do that together. And when we come together in this, it's testament that we have that ability. So none of us are alone. And spirit is here for each and every one of us. So a blessing. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll see you all again. I almost pushed leave studio. Oh my gosh, could you imagine?
I've done it. I've done it. Somebody texts me and they're like, Susan, you left the studio, but but it's still live. I'm like, I'm 3 blocks away with my dog. I'm like running. I literally did. I like, peace out, y'all. And the thing was still going.
Oh my gosh, that's totally something I would have done. All right. That was like, well, the one time Debbie Freebird and I were talking for 22 minutes, which is kind of funny because 22, and I forgot to push the live.
I know.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, to be continued all.
It was like us doing a video yesterday and then talking to each other instead of doing the video. We're going to do the video. We're just going to talk for 2 hours.
Right. Why the heck not? All right. All right. Have fun, everybody, and take real good care like Susan.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.